What's going on, y'all? Shook here, back with another video on the Resto Shaman, doing some 2v2 arena with Plum on his Outlaw Rogue. These matches are from Midnight Season 1, patch 12.0.5. I am playing the Totemic Build, which I will pop up on the screen here for just a moment. There will also be a build code in the description of the video for those of you who are interested. This first match is against an Unholy DK and a Disc Priest. We should have the advantage just because we have an Outlaw Rogue. Resto Shaman is pretty weak compared to the other healers, as I've kind of mentioned in other videos. My Resto Shaman is about 100 or so MMR lower than all the other healers. Like, for instance, these matches took place at like 1850 to 1950, which is surprisingly a decent rating for Resto Shaman. Right here, we're having a pretty good opener. We were able to get the sap. He didn't get the double blind on us. I'm just trying to pull this priest into an awkward position. I'm going to lay my grounding for the ultimate penitence. The DK immediately kills it, so you can see that that is a sign of a really good player, how fast he was able to kill grounding and realize how important it was that it went off here. He actually falls off the ledge there, so I'm able to get the hex. Plum gets the stun on him, so we're way ahead here because the priest doesn't have his trinket. He's actually going to interrupt my lava burst because he realizes how much trouble they're in, and he's just trying to stop as much damage as he can, but we were able to take them down because the Disc Priest just wasn't able to recover. The next match is against another DK, but it's a Frost DK this time. I do think Frost is a little bit better than Unholy. We get the sap on the Mistweaver, and I'm trying to play max range because I don't want to get double gripped. You can actually see me lay grounding there. I was thinking he was going to come forward and try and grip me. Just trying to stay LOS here. Plum's doing kind of his full opener here on the DK. I'm going to try and root them over there. I don't have my grounding, so he could have gripped me there, but the monk comes in to try and CC me. He actually trinkets there, and it looks like he monk bubbled the wrong target when he was coming in to try and CC me. So there is the grip, and it's just a little bit too late. The monk bubble going on the wrong target was a little bit tragic for them. Happens to everybody. Right here we go for the sap on the Holy Paladin, and it is a Holy Pally Frost Mage team. I am trying to purge him up to get all of those buffs off. Could have grounded that Hodge, but was a little bit too slow. That's one thing I've noticed about Resto Shaman, like, because you stack all of mastery and you don't have very much haste, your globals are pretty slow, and that was part of the reason why I was wanting to purge him. You saw right there was whenever he gets freedom or he uses alter time, I'm able to get it off much easier, and Plum can kind of stick to the target a little bit better. Right there we didn't have grounding or wind shear, so I had to burn my trinket on the full polymorph. That's not really ideal. Most of the time we're going to want to use it on the Hodge into the blind combo from the Pally, since that's instant CC, and we want to try and have me stop a little bit more of the polymorphs. You can see me purging off the freedom and the barrier there. I do go ahead and lay tide there. I think that's a bit of an overreaction. I'll go ahead and kick the polymorph with my wind shear. Looks like he jukes for that one, and then he goes ahead and we get the ice block because he was getting kind of dangerously low there. He's going for the Ray of Frost. I don't have anything to stop that because I wind sheared the poly. And you can see me, I'm actually going to go ahead and link here. Again, I think if I would have just held tide a little bit longer, we would have been fine. I don't quite have grounding up. You can see me trying to kind of go for it there. It is coming back up now, and you can see the Paladin going for the Hodge, so we could have grounded that. This is kind of the disaster scenario here, where I have to ground either that Hodge or the polymorph, or just shear the polymorph, because you can see they get me in the full chain, and they have the Blessing of Protection on the Mage there, so Plum's not able to do any damage. So that was a lot of pressure from them. I do go ahead and purge off the Blessing of Freedom. I'm going to dispel Plum out of that root. Looks like the Mage gets precog here, so I'm trying to kind of move out of the way. I do drop my grounding to try and stop a little bit of the damage. I go ahead and shear that polymorph, and I'm trying to kind of move back to the pillar. Here comes the Paladin with the Hodge. I'm going to trinket that since it is one of the instant CCs that I was talking about. I'm not able to get the alter time off because I was trying to pick up Plum. The Mage actually locks me there at the very last second, so really good interrupt by him, and it does get Plum's cloak. You can see him juking and trying to get the precog there. So Plum is dangerously low. If I wouldn't have wasted Tide and some of our other big cooldowns earlier in the match, we would be a little bit more okay here. And it looks like they overlap on their CC there, which is really good for us. It means that we're probably going to be able to recover from this. So right here, he is clean on buffs. I'm just trying to keep him purged, and now I'm starting to try and do damage with Plum because the Paladin has fallen way behind, and it's going to be a little bit tough for him to pick him up. So they have no ice block. I'm going to purge off that alter time there and just kind of try to hug the pillar. Looks like the Paladin is going to want to CC me here very soon, and you can see my global was just a little bit too slow. That was another one where I could have grounded that one, but it looks like dampening is probably going to win this one for us. So right there, I dropped grounding. I don't know what I was thinking in terms of like going for the CC. It was clearly blind. I think just in the moment I was just so hyper focused on keeping Plum alive that I wasn't paying attention. Right here it looks like we have an arms warrior and a holy priest. I'm going to go for the hex in the opener on the holy priest. It does DR with the sap, but it's still a pretty good opener for us. He is going to use his chastise stun, is going to get my trinket because that's going to be their main CC, is either the warrior fear or the priest fear, and the priest is probably going to chastise fear me every time, so it's going to be kind of hard to trimmer it unless I can kind of predict the chastise, but even then he can kill it. Right there we dodged the spear, which is really good for us. We don't want to be both caught in the sphere versus this comp, because that's going to be one of the main ways they can win, is if they just get extra value out of the warrior's cooldowns. You can see right here the priest is going for the divine hymn because he knows I'm too far away to shear it, and I am just trying to kind of pick Plum up through this demolish. I probably need to move a little bit closer to start trying to CC him because he's going to have his chastise combo up soon. Looks like the warrior is going to fear me to stop that hex. Into the Stormbolt, I'm going to move away from him here. The priest is going to use his angel form, and I'm just going to try and run away. Looks like I laid Surging Totem just to get the buff, and I'm going to Lightning Lasso the warrior so we can get some good damage onto him. And I'm going to just start moving towards this pillar. Priest wants to come in and fear Plum. I do go ahead and dispel him out of that, and I'm going to pop my wall here. Looks like he gets us in the double stun. So again, I'm just trying to move away from Plum. I don't want them to be getting a ton of extra value. Looks like I sheared Holy Fire there. Most of the time I'm going to be wanting to wind shear Benediction or Divine Hymn, something like that. Holy Fire is okay there if I think they're going for like the kill, but I don't think they had enough pressure. But it does lock him out on Holy, so he can't cast any of the Holy spells for a second. Looks like they go for the Fear again, misses on me, and I'm able to dispel Plum out of it. He's going for the smite there, and here's the bad scenario. You can see me try and lightning lasso him because I realized that we both got caught in the spear, and this is big damage coming out. Actually go ahead and lay grounding there just to try and stop a little bit of the priest doing damage. I also use my link, and it looks like I'm going to be able to recover here, but man, that's the way they can win, is if they get us both caught in the spear with all of the cooldowns and the priest is able to kind of do damage as well. Looks like he used the chastise on Plum, which is pretty good for us, which means he'll have to get the fear kind of naturally. I do go ahead and trinket the warrior's fear there, so now it'll even be DR'd. I'm going to go for the hex since the warrior doesn't have his kick available, and we do get the priest trinket off that, so that's really good. Right here I lightning lasso the warrior right as the priest was casting Divine Hymn. I really want to interrupt that Divine Hymn, but I didn't cancel lightning lasso for it. I guess I figured dampening was high enough that it was a fair trade. You can see him kind of going for the smites and holy fires to reset his chastise. He's going to use his angel form here again to try and conserve mana, because we are winning on mana, but Resto Shaman has very poor healing output this season, and so they can actually still win in dampening just if he's able to utilize his cooldowns well. He dodges the hex that time with his Greater Fade, and now I'm just trying to kind of pick Plum up Got about 20 seconds till I can go for the Hex again. And it looks like I'm going to use the Lightning Lasso. It is DR'd. He's coming in for the Fear, so we're going to lay Tremor here, and we do get that. So it's one of the only times we're going to be able to do it versus Holy Priest because, again, he can use the Chastise Fear combo. So right here, I'm just kind of laying Grounding. I was actually thinking that he was going to do a little bit of damage or a Chastise there onto either Plum or me. Looks like he's going for the Smite to try and keep resetting stuff. I do get the Hex on him, and we have quite a bit of pressure here. And it looks like Guardian's about to fall off, so they don't have Guardian. He's actually trying to fear Plum. Plum is able to get out of it, and we do take the Warrior down. So kind of an interesting matchup. I think obviously Outlaw Rogue is better than Arms Warrior, but Holy Priest is better than Resto Shaman, so it kind of makes for an interesting matchup here. The next one is the comp that we run, the Holy Paladin and the Windwalker Monk. I'm going to go for the Hex in the opener. He does sack it there, so good sack right in between my Hex and the Sap. Like I said before, Sap does DR with Hex, so I'm okay with that trade just because of how long of a cooldown sack is. And once that's over, we can go for like the blind and stuff like that. And there's the blind, you can see, and we do get his trinket off of that. And he's going to blind me. I'm going to trinket that since it is an instant CC, and Plum is getting dangerously low. He uses his evasion there, and he is cleaving both of them, which is, I've also said, you know, Outlaw Rogue can do a lot of cleave damage if people stack. And it looks like we got just a ton of cooldowns from them there. So they don't have too many defensives left. I think they still have their Blessing of Protection, and I'm not sure if he used Lay on Hands. It looks like he potentially did. Right here, we're getting the Monk still dangerously low, and it looks like we're trying to toss some CC on the Paladin. He does go ahead and use his Karma here, and it looks like there's the Lay on Hands. So they only have one major cooldown left. They don't have Karma, they don't have Brew. So as long as we can recover here, we should be fine. I'm trying to just pick Plum up the best that I can. I don't have Link available, but I'm trying to lay Surging Totem and just kind of pick him up, and you can see Plum just trying to do a bunch of cleave damage. The Paladin's at like half health. The Monk looks like he's going to go down. He runs over here to use his port, and I hex the Paladin, but then the Monk is just running away trying to heal himself, so we're going to swap to the Paladin. I'm going to Lightning Lasso him, and we're just going to kind of pump all of our damage into him because he didn't have Bubble or Lay on Hands or anything like that, and we do take him down. And the Monk is still waiting back over here. He realizes we took down the Pally, and then he's just going to surrender. So if you guys enjoyed those games, if you are new here, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, helps me out a ton, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.